Hello, everybody. Today we are analyzing the Minsk Shogi Classic quarterfinal. Eugeny Iglitsky is playing versus Nikita Pytalev. Both have third dan, and this is our uh, Minsk one of the main tournaments. Uh, As we can see, both players have an hour for a game and then 1 minute byoyomi. Okay, and let's start. Uh, Eugeny is opening his bishop, and Nikita is opening his rook. He pushes his pawn in front of his rook, and then Eugeny moves the silver. Yevgeny prefers playing something bishop, as I know, and Nikita, as we now can see, is pretending to play the static rook. So the game seems to be interesting because both players are very strong, and so I hope we will have fun looking at it. Second move, and Nikita is starts to think. uh, Here, Evgeny, instead of sunken bishop, can also play something like Migigyoku castle. Uh, by like that moves, he plays it a lot too, but we'll see. What would he choose? Okay. It is strange that it is only fourth move, and Nikita is thinking about 3 minutes about it. I expected him to choose his strategy for this game for a long time ago, because Yevgeny doesn't play a lot of debuts openings. Okay, and Nikita opens his bishop too. Now bishop also Eugeny is under attack, so he closes it immediately, and Nikita Nikita develops his silver, and Eugeny does it too. Okay, this can be both Furibisha now and Ibisha with these moves. So Evgeny has some things to think about. Okay, Nikita pushes his pawn on 6 file. Evgeny develops his bishop, puts it under the knight's protection uh, in, in case of some bishop exchanges, not to move rook on this line, but develop the knight. Okay, Nikita develops silver. Evgeny then develops his silver too, and both silvers now are on the fifth file, ready to maybe Nikita's silver will be attacking one here for the maybe rook will be put on this line, and then that there will be an attack here, and Eugeny's silver will be protecting one, I guess. But again, we'll see. Now the computer proposes to uh, uh, to, to move Eugeny's rook on the sixth file uh, to have an attacking and defending possibilities on this line. It is very good position for the rook. Okay. Oh, so and now Evgeny is thinking, what will he do next? He can now decide to play for Ibisha by relocating his rook here, or play Ibisha by putting some gold or in the defense of his castle. So both variants are playable, but what is the best? Now Evgeny is thinking about that, I suppose. Mm, here I think better is to move the rook on the active line, of course, but Yevgeny by now chooses the variant with moving gold. Okay. He can also move his rook then, but and this gold will be protecting one. It will defend the bishop, but the castle for the king will be weaker, of course, with two generals instead of three. And Nikita pushes his each pawn. Uh, Maybe he thinks about blocking some bishop moves like this, cause there may be rook will be moved to the sixth line and pawn pushed, knight developed, and sometimes this bishop jumps will be uncomfortable for some for this kind of attack. So Nikita prevents it, and maybe he was waiting for Yevgeny to answer that by this move, but but Yevgeny chooses some strange line. He develops his bishop, of course, it is understandable, but but the pawn will be taken, and this is very strange because after this move here is also a fork on this pawn and the lens. um, I think Eugeny mistaken. I don't know what he's thinking about, because maybe he's thinking that the bishop will took pawn too, but here's the lens, and even if the bishop will promote, even though we can easily defend with our new material, I don't know. This looks strange because there, after the bishop moves, knight will be taken to. Huh. Very strange move by bishop. I don't know. Maybe this will be a very short game. Of course, Nikita takes the pawn, and what Eugeny think is going to do now, I don't know. Computer proposes to just return our bishop to his place, but here after trade, black doesn't have a pawn on sixth file, and it's very strange. Position is with advantage for white, absolutely. Maybe Evgeny didn't mention that the pawn will be taken by bishop. I don't know why he did that. Why did he do that? Mm. Okay, I thought that would be an interesting game, but maybe this will be a very short game instead. Mm. And now, what are the possibilities? Mm, Maybe the best one will be, yes, to return this bishop. Absolutely, because even if we cross this line for bishop, there will be a promotion, and the silver is kind of hard to defend, and I don't know. It is very looking very strange, and very. It seems like Nikita will have very powerful attack there, and Eugeny will not have any tempo to develop his attack. Okay, but then the bishop moves here, and now Nikita has some options. The first one just took there the bishop, and it will be taken by the knight, and maybe with two defenses on this field by the knight and by the silver. If we move the rook here, we will not lose so fast. But I don't know. Here, here, but the position is very set for black. And the second option, of course, is what computer recommends, to push the pawn, and if black now trades bishops, we have dangerous pawn on white have on dangerous pawn on 6-6 file, and maybe then if rook will be moved to the 6th line, there can be a very powerful attack. Hmm. Hmm. If we move rook here just to try and trade this pawn, of course the rook will be there, and now we can try to eat this pawn by this move, of course, but we can just place this bishop here, and then there are almost no options to eat this pawn. We can, of course, place the bishop here, but I think maybe that will be not very good idea, because we can take this pawn by the bishop, and then there surely will be some trades. I suppose we cannot two back rook here because of exchange, and just this attack by white will be much more powerful than attack by the black, because black has 3 generals around the king and white have only 2. And if we here took pawn by the gold, it seems scary, because this bishop doesn't have a lot of moves here, and rest we can see the king is unprotected, only 2 generals are around him, and black has pretty good position, because they can just move their king to 3-2 field, and then start to develop their attack, and there will be pretty strong castle. Okay, Nikita chooses the variation to push this pawn, and Eugeny has something to think about. Okay, if we just move rook in here, I suppose there will be that move, and I think that it is not so strong to take the lens here, because the silver will be taken, and then maybe the lens will be dropped here. Bishop will take pawn. Here we will protect the knight, and bishop goes away. But and attacking the rook, by the way. And I'm almost sure that here white also have some advantage. Okay. So now the best move is probably to take here and let the pawn go so far, and maybe in the future try to eat it somehow. Okay, 1 second. Oh, interesting fact is that head-to-head statistics for Nikita and Eugeny uh, is 8-8. So the winner will go to the leaders of this contribution. Mm, yeah, it's already a tough position for Eugeny. Nikita has a slight advantage now. So Eugeny figured out that he made a big mistake and he is now trying to think more, uh, just not to make one more. Okay, what's what else we can do here? As computer recommends, we can move rook here, but it looks very weird, and I don't know. Hmm, I don't like move like this. Hmm, yeah, here I suppose we need to choose between two evils, and on the other hand, on the one hand, we can take here and get this tough position. On the other, we can move rook here, and here we got variation with promoting both bishops. Very aggressive variation where both players have some initiative. So here we need to choose something. As I mentioned, Eugeny is mostly a player who likes aggressive attacks, so I suppose he can choose this variant. Okay, but also if we move our rook here, Nikita can just move his rook here, and there maybe maybe position becomes a little bit better for black, because they can develop their king and try and they can rotate to the castle. But in fact, here no one wants to trade the bishop, because the person who will trade them will give tempo to the opponent. If Nikita trades, he will develop Evgeny's bishop, and if Evgeny trades, he will develop Nikita's pawn here, and none of them likes that, likes to develop opponent's pieces. Mhm. Okay. Mhm. I don't know which variations can we analyze here. It's maybe just two simple lines, and Eugeny is trying to count which is better. Maybe not which is better, but in which he has more chances to win. Because, as I mentioned, Eugeny has some experience in extremely aggressive variations, so maybe he's trying to wait which variation should he choose. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, he's still thinking. Uh, hmm, and what's now? He spent about 10-13 minutes on this move already, and maybe this will be one of the most important moments of the game. Because he chooses to be active or passive one. Although if we just stay here, as I mentioned, we can move rook, opponent will move it here too, and then we take up gold. Oh, maybe there are some variations with bishops, and bishop is putting not here but here. But this looks not very nice, because if we just try to eat this pawn, there will be a pawn here, and then if we take the bishop, and here will be just free gold. If we trying to save our gold, there will be a bishop exchange, rook takes, and this pawn is quite dangerous, I suppose. Here we can just try to exchange silvers, something like that, and then I suppose white still have an advantage. Oh, okay. As I thought, the rook was placed here, and now here starts a very aggressive game, I suppose. Of course, we can just exchange these bishops here and all, I suppose, because here here starts a tremendous attack for black, because silver is attacking 6-5 field, knight is attacking, rook is attacking, and only silver defends it. So there is no way to defend this field, and the pawn will be taken back. So I suppose Nikita will choose this dangerous variation. As we can see, white still have advantage. It is about, as I remember, 59%. But in this aggressive game, Yevgeny can easily return his position to the normal state. So here is only one normal move for Nikita. I guess he will find it. Of course, then their white can move their rook to 6 file 2, but I suppose it increases chances for black to return their advantage in this game by this move. Because it at once developing the king, trying to route it to his castle maybe, and protecting this field from bishop promoting. Hmm. Hmm. After bishop promotion, the machine also recommends to say to try to save this silver on 5-6 and not to take his lands, but I don't think Eugeny will play this way. he already he might already mention this aggressive variation, and I think he will uh, he will do it. Okay, let's see. Hmm. Mm, mhm, mhm. If he, what is Nikita thinking about? That's the question. If he takes his pawn here, the land will be taken. Uh, the silver is taken, and maybe Nikita doesn't like this variation as well. But I think there is nothing to be scared about. For white, because they already have a threat of placing silver here, or maybe placing the land somewhere, because black doesn't have any pawns to protect their pieces from the lands. Hmm. And what if we just play as computer recommended? Here the rook will be taken, I suppose, and maybe the only way to protect all pieces is to take it by the king, because if we take it by the gold, there will be a rook fork for king and knight. Mm, and it seems not very good for black, and if we take it by the bishop, there will be again a rook here. We can save the knight, but rook will take the lance by the fork, and the lance will be good at this point. So we can just take the pawn here, silver takes, knight recaptures, and and the position seems not not quite obvious, but oh, Nikita decides to move his rook on the sixth file. Yeah, and as I mentioned, machine uh, machine tells that we need to save our king right here, right now. hmm And now the advantage for Nikita was decreased to 56%. Uh-huh. Now the computer chooses other line just to move gold here. Interesting. It makes any future variations of the Eugeny's castle weaker, but maybe with this situation on the middle of the board, Eugeny and Nikita will not have any tempo for building their castles. So maybe this have a point. Okay. So we can just keep here. Oh, and now, all my thoughts about that being a very fast game are ruined because I suppose both players will think a lot on their moves here and trying to get some advantage from this position. Um, so maybe it will be interesting game. Hmm. So what can we do else now? Mm, Another line by the computer device is just to move gold on the 6-7 field, and here I suppose Nikita will trade the bishop finally, but mm, gold clicks recapture, and still Nikita have a pawn from Eugene, and the position is better for him. So I suppose moving gold is now not very good. As I mentioned, the best way, as I think here, is just to move king to the castle, and by the way, protect the field 5-3, 5-7. Maybe then we can move. After that, we can move this gold somehow, but for me, it looks like some like lose of tempo here. So I don't like this move at all. Here's another position where there are not very much variations, not not many things to do. So I even don't know what to analyze here. Of course, we can also predict the 5-7 field by moves like this. Oh, thinking that then we can move the king like this to the castle, but it takes 1, 2, 3 tempos, and I don't know if Eugeny will have tempo for all of that. Okay, as we can see, both the players started the game with hour on their clock, and now Eugeny have, has only 33 minutes, and Nikita has 42 minutes left. Both players are very strong, so they are trying to calculate all variations in position, so it takes a lot of time. After the main time will be gone, uh, both players will have a minute of byoyomi, and I guess today we will see the byoyomi playing. Hmm. The position seems like not the easy one, because in this variation every wrong move will give advantage to the opponent, and of, nobody wants that, of course. So, okay, if we play like like the machine, uh, as I thought, com computer do not recommend to exchange here the bishops for both players. What is happening? What? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Interesting, interesting. Eugeny tries to start his own attack and to defend at once by by trading rook on a bishop here and placing bishop on the 7-5 point. Mm. Yeah. Okay, it is a very interesting thought, I guess, but it looks like he gives Nikita more advantage in this position, and machine agrees with me. Nikita now have 61%, but he trying to trade silvers here. For me, it is funny that Nikita thought on the position with two actual moves for like 5 or 10 minutes, and this position at this positions he thought about 1 minute. Okay, and and here we have a lot of variations, like firstly move the king here, or okay, maybe this move is okay too, but I'm not sure. Maybe maybe he should put his rook here to protect both the pawns. And this will be okay, I suppose. but Nikita is thinking other way. And now his advantage was decreased by again, and he has only 58% here. Hmm. Okay, the idea is if black takes the silver, white will not recapture it by the rook, but promote the pawn, and if gold takes, then we can place the rook here and eat this knight, I suppose. Maybe firstly we can eat the silver, of course. Uh, Black should protect the gold, so maybe there will be this move, and the rook is going back, but there is almost no way to protect this knight. The only way is to just put silver in there, which looks terrible, of course. The silver here is so out of the game. So I guess this knight will be taken anyway. Uh-huh. Okay, today I will not get anyone's point. I suppose. Eugeny is taking this pawn on 5-3. The idea is to maybe just cross the rook by the pawn in the future. It is understandable, and Nikita takes the silver. Hmm. Here I suppose there's only one way to deal with all this, just to take the silver. Here pawn promotes, and we should just place pawn on 6-3. Rook is going to protect the lance from the bishop. Then Tokin is captured by the gold, and here is the rook. But this, I don't know if someone has advantage in this position. I'm not clearly sure. Maybe there are some better variations. Uh-huh. But Eugeny decides to not to recapture the silver by pawn, but firstly place pawn on 6-3. And as we can see, Nikita already have 64% of advantage, but in such kind of position it can be changed very easily. Oh, 72% of advantage already. Just if Nikita uh, exchanges his inactive rook for active bishop of Eugeny. And so here, if Eugeny just takes the silver, there may be some ideas like hmm, maybe just placing silver here is okay. If bishop captures the pawn, the gold will be taken, and of course this position for black looks scary. I can say terrifying. Okay, okay, Nikita decides to exchange his rook, and this is right decision. And now Eugeny has to think. What should he do now? There are not a lot of variations, because if we just trying to defend bishop somehow, there will be a token here, I suppose, or just a silver promotion. It is okay too. And then if rook will be taken, gold recaptures, rook here, and we can just drop silver here. Even if rook recaptures knight, here is token with threat mate by by dropping rook here. So this variation is not very good for black. And of course we don't wanna just take silver, because we lose our bishop for free when we can take a rook for it. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, Eugeny takes the rook, and then gold recaptures. Oh, of course, this gold, because if we take, by the way, this gold, there will be a rook and free knight for Eugeny. Of course, the king will go to the castle. It is understandable, but here, I suppose it will be slightly dangerous with this bishop attack and other things. I think it is safer for the king, much more safer for king to stay in the center of the battlefield here. And of course we don't take quit with the king, because again maybe there is no move like that because of silver just protecting king and knight once a time, but this is as we can see is a much more dangerous position for the king. There might be in the future some drops of rook like here, and when the silver will go out somewhere here, rook can be dropped here. So of course it's better to take by this gold. Uh-huh. And Eugeny takes the pawn. It is interesting because why didn't he just took the silver? I don't know. It is strange because there is such a danger here, like the pawn. That was when he just did the silver, so he did not remove any threats by that, and he gave Nikita some variations to save the silver by these moves. Okay, now Eugenie has 11%, as I remember. And of course, this position is almost lost for black. So, how can we play here? That is the question. Maybe we should place drop this bishop here instead of silver, because then we have an additional threat just to take this gold and then take this pawn by the silver, and it will be very hard to protect the king from this attack. And if Eugenie finally takes the silver, we can eat gold here, and general will be more powerful to attack the king than the bishop. And here I don't know what to do, because even if we just trying to save the king somehow, there is rook with the fork for bishop and the king, and it seems bad for black. If if the gold goes here, we can just put gold, king recaptures, and here we can promote. Uh-huh. But Eugenie has a pawn to protect, and maybe we can find something here. I don't know. Mm, at, mm, at least we can just put silver here. If gold recaptures, there is a mate in one, and if we take silver, here we take gold, and I suppose there is almost impossible to make some defense around the king. And this king is pretty safe. There are three generals around him, and even though there is sometimes dangerous pawn on 6-3, it will be very hard to start dangerous attack for Eugenie. Mm. Yeah, that's okay, I suppose. And here we can also just put the pawn here instead of silvers, I suppose, but I'm not sure, is it a Tsume threat? Let's see if maybe this move. Mm, okay, Tsume starts in front. Is this one move? Ah, or it's not. Okay, maybe it's not. So it is better to play silver, I suppose, just to have a Tsume threat. Okay, let's see. Mhm. Nikita chooses dropping the rook here, and Eugeny's persons were increased from 11 to 26 after this move. Mhm. And the computer is recommending just to promote bishop first, and then after gold takes, to take this length. But I'm not sure about promoting this pawn. I think we can just take this length, and after that that will be an additional threat here, or additional lose of tempo for Nikita. I don't know. Maybe rook c7. Um, Maybe, but in what variation I don't remember. Uh-huh. And Eugeny chooses here to just to move bishop to the seventh file. Hmm. Okay, it is very strange, I suppose. Here is almost too much threat, and Eugeny is doing such slow moves like that. Yes, of course, it is. This bishop is attacking the silver and then threatening Sume, but it is one tempo, two tempos, three tempos. It is a lot in the end game. But computer says that Nikita has no chances to no, no variations to give the Sume threat before the Eugene will do it. So here we can just take the bishop, and if pawn recaptures, silver will go to the 5-7 field, and it, I suppose it will start the end attack, mate attack. Interesting. Okay, what can we do else now? course, we can just try to save the silver by this move. Mm -hmm. And then if bishop takes, is there something? Let's see. Maybe starting with a pawn, gold takes, silver recaptures, king recaptures, and here is Tsume, I suppose, yeah. Or not. Okay, maybe not. But we always can just protect here, and it will be very hard for Eugeny to continue some attacks here. Okay, but Nikita takes this, no, this bishop, then pawn recaptures, and now he is thinking what he can do. But I think it is quite obvious that we should take pawn here by the silver. It looks very dangerous because it has many threats, like starting from pawn here. Also, we can some ideas of dropping bishops on some like these fields. So it looks quite dangerous. And Nikita see it and takes the pawn by the silver. And I can repeat my question: why Eugeny didn't took the silver? But okay. And so now computer recommends to push the gold up, trying to trade this silver. But I suppose after this move there will be kind of pawn here or maybe bishop here to continue aggression on this diagonal, and the game will be soon finished. Only 9% have Eugeny by the time. And I don't know what can help, what ideas will help here to Eugene to save this game. Interesting that it is only 36 move and it is already endgame with almost no chances for Eugenia. So the winner of this game will meet Sergey Korchitsky at the semifinals, and there should be an interesting game show too. Eugeny pushes his goal, but I don't really think that it will help him. Nikita is a very strong player, so I think that it is not a problem for him to finish this game. Okay, and what computer recommends, just to put the bishop here, as I thought, and then pawn here by Eugeny. We can take gold, silver recaptures, of course, and mm, and here we can just I don't know. We should use some Hasami here, but oh, 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 oh. But I see what's going on the board, and Nikita dropped the bishop as computer recommended, and Eugeny drops the rook, trying to do protecting by threatening the bishop and attacking move at once, but it seems to me like there is a hishi or something. Computer recommends just to place bishop here, and if Eugeny takes this bishop, it is a tsume. So here Eugeny loses the rook, his rook, because he needs to defend, something like that. Then silver takes the gold, silver recaptures, and we can just take this rook. But I suppose maybe there is no need in it. Maybe we can just put the pawn here, and this will be enough. If we can just if we try to protect this field by the silver, pawn takes, silver captures, and another pawn here. If silver takes, we just take it by the bishop, and here is a tsume. Yeah, and if we firstly take it by the silver, we again can just take the silver by the bishop. So I guess we have no need to take this rook in this game. Oh, now Nikita needs only to see this move to end this game, I suppose. Maybe Nikita tries to count some checkmate at this position, but I suppose he don't have enough pieces yet for such kind of ideas. Uh-huh. Interesting. Nikita decides just to it Eugeny's rook right here, right now, but I don't know. I suppose he's now dropping bishop here in Ron. No, oh, just in Ron. Sequence of moves, yeah. But I don't think that will help Eugene in this game. Eugene places silver here. I think Nikita should firstly drop gold, yes, here. Then if Eugeny is trying to save his king, there might be a sequence like this. But now it looks pretty dangerous because Eugeny has a lot of pieces here on his commodity and one run move. Maybe after that. And it is not so clear how to play here. Maybe something like bishop here, but again, but we can just play the silver here or just push the pawn. It is okay too. If we promote silver, king goes to the 1-7, and if bishop captures, we just go like this. So Nikita should be aware of such kind of ideas for Eugeny. What else then? And of course he can just take the silver, play the gold now. It is not a Tsuma threat, but again, Nikita's skin is in safety, so he can just don't care about it. But maybe it is a Tsuma threat. No, let's see. Here, if we just pawn here, it is a Tsuma, like that. If we're trying to run, we can just take this maybe. No, we can't. Okay, we can just place silver here and then take this silver, and it is Tsuma. Okay, it is a Tsuma threat, I suppose. Yeah. So this move is okay too. And if Eugeny is trying to run somewhere else, it is there will be much more easier Tsuma. Here the same thing. Oh. Okay, it seems like we are not going to the byoyomi plane. What? And that's sad. Of course, I suppose this game should be ended in some moves. And that's all because of this beginning mistake. Mistake at the beginning that when Eugeny just left this pawn unprotected with this strange kind of move of bishop. I don't know what is it, maybe he just forgot about this pawn, but it's okay, let's see what's in the end. Okay, Eugene decided just to go here as computer recommended, and now computer recommends just to take the rook, to remove any threats from the king, and if silver takes here, I suppose there must be something. Maybe something like this. Yeah. There is no normal way to defend this line, because Eugeny cannot drop pawn here because of Mifu, and this point is also undefendable. So the king should run here, and then we can just place the rook here. Silver gets here, and we can just take. Yeah, and this move. Use this. If king goes here, then we can just eat the gold and thread the tsume. And if the king eats the silver, we can just eat this gold with tempo. King goes here. Drop of gold. King takes. Rook takes the silver. Drop. Gold drop. Silver drop. And it is tsume. So I suppose this variation is good too, because here if we take the silver, I guess maybe rook can take the bishop, and here just we get in some kind of position as we had in the previous variation, but previous position looked simpler. Okay. I'll be back soon. Okay, what's now? Oh, Nikita is still thinking. I suppose he is thinking about the final combination in this game. 99% is Nikita's advantage now, so I suppose he's going to win. Yeah, he takes the rook. And now, as you can see, computer recommends to firstly give the pawn here, promote it, and then take the bishop, so we can defend his pawn here. But I suppose it will not save Eugeny in this position. Because there's still no attack, and here we can do almost whatever we want. Maybe just this kind of move will be okay here. What else we can do now? Also, computer recommends to drop the rook to defend the king on some of these fields, but it doesn't look like a very good move, to be honest. Hmm. Okay, both players have less than 12, 20 minutes on their clock. Nikita has 15 minutes. I think it is enough for him to end this game. More than enough. And now computer recommends just to take the bishop. Bishop goes here, and to put bishop here. Also interesting, but also not winning clearly. We can just take here, gold recaptures, put the bishop here, uh, king goes ahead, and and maybe here we can just don't even eat this gold, but do something like this. If Silver captures their Satsume, and if Eugeny is trying to protect, I also suppose there is no normal way to protect here. Something like that. At least we can just put the rook here, and this will be okay. This pawn takes this, thinker captures, x1 general, then the second. It is okay, but it will be better to place rook here, and if Eugeny is trying to protect the silver, there is a Tsume. Yeah, it is better. It by silver. Here is Tsume 2. So this variation seems also winning for Nikita. Okay, let's just see what will players do. I don't think there is any sense to analyze some other variations, because in almost any of them Nikita will win. Let's just look at the game now. Okay. I will show it. Now the game is almost over, yes. There are almost 5 minutes left for Eugeny, so the game will end shortly. It looks like Nikita is going to play with Sergey Korchitsky in semifinals. So I think this game will be much more interesting, because in previous tournament Nikita won the game when he was playing with Sergey Korchitsky, and they both played Aigakari, as I remember. The variation that is interesting, beginning, but we rarely can see him. So let's just wait for the couple of minutes to Eugene to make his move here. I will be back. Oh, not yet. Okay, he has about 2 minutes to make his decision how to lose this game. So let's wait for it. Eugeny tries to find the way out, but I don't think that there is a one. Now the byoyomi will shortly start at the Eugene site. Yeah. Now he has 1 minute for each move. Okay, he promotes the pawn firstly. So he is going for this variation, I suppose. Let's see. Mm, of course, it's better to take by this gold, because if you take by this gold or by uh, the king will be opened for some rook drops. Not now, of course, but maybe somewhere in the future it might cause some difficulties. But that's why Nikita takes balance this gold, and Eugeny takes the bishop finally. And now computer recommends to drop the rook here to eat the silver to remove any threats from this both attacking pieces. That makes sense too. Nikita does that. Of course, Eugeny will drop the pawn, I suppose. But if he is protected here by the pawn, there will be some difficulties with this move. Yeah, if we just trying to get the silver, bishop takes, gold takes, and we can just eat here. If king takes, we can just drop silver with mate, and if king runs, maybe we can just take the gold. It's okay. Or we can play silver here. Why not? Yeah, and it seems like there is almost no way out here. Okay, but Evgeny chooses to drop the pawn, and Nikita takes the silver. Inaccuracy, of course, but that's not the point. Here, Nikita can do almost everything that he wants. Now there is a threat with bishop promotion and Zuma threat next move. Yeah, it's very sad to see that only one player had any chances in this game. Mm-hmm. Eugeny tries to no, tries to get Nikita silver off his hand. Uh, Maybe he's expecting that Nikita will just throw silver this way and have less attacking pieces, but I think Nikita just can move the king here, and it will be Right. And after rook here, just run here and all. Oh, okay, Nikita chooses other variation with king going here, and after rook here, he will just drop the pawn and stop every attacking ideas of Eugeny. Okay. Yeah. Eugeny drops the rook here, but there is no way for him to win this game. Okay, Eugeny takes the knight, and I suppose there is a hishi by this move. Yeah, if Eugeny tries to defend somehow, there is silver and sume. So I suppose there is no defense from this move. Yeah, so the game is over. Eugeny realizes it, and I suppose he will concede shortly. Firstly, he decides to use some checks on the board, but Nikita takes it, takes the knight, and Eugeny resigns. Oh, okay. Mm, even though there was an advantage for Nikita for almost all the game, no, that was an interesting one, I suppose. And what can I say? Thank you all for watching this video or stream. Uh, that Nikita is going to the semifinals where he will challenge Sergey Korchitsky, and I think there will be much more interesting games than this. So subscribe to our channel and watch other our live streams. Thank you all for being here.